it's Ashley from Life by Ashley Pichet, where I invite you to join me living intentionally by faith every day. Welcome to Caffeinated Conversations. This week, I just want to ask you a question about September 11th. I want to know where you were that day that the towers fell, that the Pentagon was attacked, and that the U.S. became the target of a huge terrorist attack. Where were you? What do you remember about that day? Will you share with me in the comments below? I'm just going to give you a brief summary of my recollection of that day. This is going to tell you a little bit about how old I was as well. I was a senior in high school the year that the September 11th, 2001. It was my mom's 40th birthday. So my mom's birthday's on Sunday. Happy birthday, Mom! But I remember that morning we'd be in school. I was actually a teacher's aide for the first period, and I was out in the hallways and I heard something going on down in the offices, so I went down to find out what was going on. They had the news on and we quickly found out, the first tower had fallen. So I ran down the hallway, knocking on all the doors in the high school, telling teachers, turn your TVs on, there's something going on, it's big, I don't know what it is, but we need to be watching this. I get back to my classroom to where I was the teacher's assistant, and I told my teacher, we need to turn the TV on. I don't know what it is, but it's really important. So we turned it on, and we watched as the plane runs into the Trade Center. We thought it was a replay. We didn't realize that it was actually the second plane that was running into the towers. So basically the rest of the day we spent staring at the television screens. I actually went to 2 different high schools when my senior year, well, all through high school. I would go to one school in the morning, one school in the afternoon for academically challenging classes. I took my normal classes at the high school, and then I went to a special school for math and science. It was a little bit more accelerated, so I went to my math and science center in the afternoon, and once again, all we could talk about was the Trade Center towers falling and what was going on, and nobody knew what was going on. And we lived in a town where we have one of the biggest, or we have a federal center in our town, and it was one of the big, top 5 places that if somebody was going to attack in the U.S., it would probably be, that would be there. And I actually worked next door to the federal center, so after school I had to go to work, and I called and I'm like, do I really have to come in? I'm scared, I don't want to come in if there's going to be an attack next door. And thankfully they were actually evacuating the building, didn't have to go in. They had evacuated the whole block, we're closing everything down early, but I just remember that night we went to Chili's for my mom's birthday, and all we could do was stare at the TV. President Bush was whisked away somewhere hidden, and I remember seeing him on the news and just talking to my family about what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. So that's my recollection from September 11th, 2001, the black day of history, in the most recent history. And so now just share with me, where were you? What do you remember? And I hope you guys all take some time this weekend to remember those who did die, both as a victim of the terror attacks and also those who died in their attempt to rescue and to help those who were the victims, especially those firefighters and police officers and other emergency personnel who rushed into the towers, gave sacrificially of their own lives in order that they might save some others' lives. Hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week.